Remember, we have a hostile, or it is a sense of hostility between labor and business. Cyril comes from the labor movement. That's what propelled him to where he became ultimately a negotiator. Remember, this is also a person who started among the founders of the National Union of Mine Workers and the first general secretary. So he left to pull that element, does that in terms of how you deal with that. The second thing that he did was he's a skilled negotiator. But I think what stands him in good stead, especially among people, is really that he's a person who will have a sympathetic ear to understanding what it takes to build enterprises, especially now that the government has established a ministry that is supposed to support people who are newcomers. He also has had to go through those learning. So we're going to see somebody who might also assume the role that Thabo Mbeki did under President Mandela. But it's also whether the president himself is willing to give him those type of responsibilities. Because being a deputy president is also difficult in the sense that most of your duties are assigned by the president. But what we can say, at least, is that he is one person who seems to be ready to go there. You saw when COSATU was having problems, it was the ANC that deployed him, that you go there because those are more your people. Zuma was a political activist. This one was a trade unionist. So I think he needs to sharpen those skills. But he's also a pleasant person. But what is most important at that level of position is also being a decision maker.
And do you think that the president will be relying heavily on him to drive this radical phase of the socio-economic change that he spoke about today?
Well, you could actually say it's a man whose time has come, especially if you're going to talk about the radical economic transformation. You need somebody who has an insight into that environment. What does it take to drive the economy? And Cyril, one hopes that balancing the two would play a major role in making sure that there is a conversation. At the moment, there's been more a relationship that is defined by hostility rather than finding each other.
Know more about your world.
ENCA.com